See this guy here? He's a man who donates sperm. And guess what? He's so successful at it that his women choose his sperm so much that he has over 550 kids. And know what? One of them suing him for increasing incest risk. This is bullshit, of course. For this man is an individual, he has no control over what the clinic does with his sperm after he gives it to them, right? So you know the women who are doing this are doing it out of spite. For one thing, the Netherlands itself has 17.5 million people. 550 people that are related won't make a difference. So this is horseshit by on its on its face. But the other thing is, you guys all know that what's standard for the average woman? She gets a provider that she marries and has a sexless marriage with. Then she bangs some guy she really likes. And that guy she really likes, other women really like. And they end up having siblings to start with. So this isn't a case that this guy's done anything wrong. He's done nothing wrong. It's simply the fact that he's done it instead of them. That's what it is. That's what's going on here. This is misandry, right? Now we'll look at our hero here, Penguin Zero, because he gives his response, and his response, I have to say, is fairly typical. A fairly misandric response.
I don't know why I feel so inclined to at least briefly talk about this, but
Yes, you do, because it's about views. You talk about, interesting topics, and it keeps your channel going.
just kind of a captivating story. I'm sure you've at least heard some whispers about this supervillain, but there is a
He's not a supervillain. He's just a guy who donated his sperm, and women liked his profile. He's done nothing wrong. He's not broken any rules himself.
serial sperm bank donor who has now fathered over 500 children, which has caused a
That must make you very jealous.
lot of outrage because there are real dangers associated with this because he's got more kids than a male seahorse, right? And they deliver like 2,000 babies at once. He's on track to match the seahorse numbers. So the problem is these kids will grow up and there's a chance that they find each other and never know they're related. So
That has always been, like I said, everyone listening, you know that has always been the case. Women sleep around with men, and we don't know who's related to who. That's a fact. And again, this single donor, 500 children doesn't mean anything in a population of millions. Now, here's another thing I want to point out here. Let me just point this out. Donors are not allowed to father more than 25 children or impregnate more than 12 women to prevent inbreeding. Okay. This guy just donated his sperm. It's up to the clinic to keep records and decide who gets what sperm and let people know. So he shouldn't be personally sued. The clinic should be sued. So everyone, this is about misandry. This is misandric at its core. They're angry. These women, they think, hey, I'm the one who should be producing all the incest risk, not this guy. That's what's going on here.
So it could lead to inbreeding and incest. It's an incest concern, which is why a lot of people now are starting to rally against this sperm donor because it's a big deal. He has too many kids. He needs to be cut off. The bartender needs to shut that shit down at the sperm bank. Tell the goddamn milkman here that, no
But
more
they did blacklist him in the Netherlands, right? So there's nothing to be angry about.
deliveries. They've got plenty of supply for a lifetime. His name is Jonathan Jacob Meyer, and his name even sounds made up. That sounds like some John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith shit right there.
It doesn't matter about his name.
But he's apparently well known in the sperm scene. In fact, he was even blacklisted from donating sperm in the Netherlands in 2017.
Okay, then there's no problem then. There's no reason for this man to be sued. The clinic blacklisted him, so he can't do it anymore. So there's no problem.
It is just a legitimate problem. I went over it a bit more on stream, so I'll show.
No, it's not a legitimate problem. The legitimate problem here is that some woman who picked out his sperm particularly and thought, yeah, my child's going to be unique, found out her child isn't going to be unique because this guy's popular. Let me show you how popular this guy is, right? Here. An Australian couple paid over $6,500 to a Danish fertility clinic, Cryos International, for his sperm, which he donated under a pseudonym of Ruud, the Times of London reported. We chose him because he was worldly, creative, and very intelligent, the Australian mother reportedly said. He was open to meeting his donor children and looks like my partner. So these women are making the choices, and the clinics are the one giving it to them. The clinics are making the big money, by the way. I looked at what he might get. He might personally get 10 or 20 bucks for his sperm donation, right? So he gets something out of it. They're the ones who made the big money. So there's no reason at all that this man personally should be sued. Right? Exactly. So back to loser here.
Show you some clips from that before getting back into it. Did you hear of the serial sperm donor with 500 plus children who's being sued for increased incest risk? Yeah, what's his name? Caleb texted me. It's like he has like an NPC name. It's like John Madison or something.
Now that's rich. NPC name. Dude, no one's more NPC than you.
Well, it's probably not John Madison. That's one of the fucking founding fathers. But oh, it's James Madison. What's the
Okay, sorry guys. I'll try and get something worthwhile here. Okay, this is why we're looking at Penguin Zero, because like I say, he's representative of the average jealous man. He's jealous. This man has had success. These women have chosen him.
where he was blacklisted in 2017 for fathering 102 children. Man's out here trying to be the next Genghis Khan, be the dad to half the population. The group
Is he trying that, or is he just donating his sperm and getting a few bucks out of it? Did you ask this man his motivation? No one has.
alleges that the serial donor has lied about the number of children he's fathered. We're taking action against this man because the government is doing nothing.
This is nonsense. Everyone listening, they should be suing the clinic. The clinic is the one who gave these women his sperm. They know who this guy is, so it's up to them. He shouldn't be sued whatsoever. So again, I'm repeating this, it's done out of misandry. They don't like him. They're angry with him.
Global reach via the internet, and he does business with large international sperm banks. Do they like him? Do the sperm banks like him? Is he providing them like a valuable service that they defend?
Well, I just showed they made $6,500 because women prefer his sperm, right? So that's what they get out of it.
I have to imagine they have access to plenty of sperm. They probably don't need them, right?
Dude, a couple offered them $6,500. So he's a popular choice by women. Women are choosing this man. They are the ones to blame, not him.
Would I ever donate sperm? Probably not.
Thank God.
Not even because I think it'd be like a yucky, weird experience. I just feel bad because I'd condemn a kid to be short. And not.
Look, everyone, men shouldn't be donating because Mr. Pink and Yellow, who I'm affiliated with in the Pro Male Collective, pointed out something very important. He said, it opens you up to child support. Can you imagine paying child support to a woman you weren't even allowed to be intimate with? Right, exactly. That's why men shouldn't be donating sperm.
Not everyone can deal with such a burden. Yeah, I wouldn't want him to grow up to have like short man syndrome, like short man rage. If I had known he had already fathered more than 100 children, I would have never chosen this donor. When I think about
But this is not about incest, everyone. This is about her thinking she's special and this man basically telling you you're not. That's what it is. This is ego driven.
Consequences this could have for my child, I'm sick to my stomach. Going through the
Her child's not going to be hurt at all. Because again, I'm pointing out to you guys how many women sleep with the same guy and produce half siblings. And it's all right with them because they're the one doing the banging and the choosing, right? Right. They don't give a shit about the children. This is a lie this woman is telling.
court is the only way to protect my child. That is quite a quite an interesting situation. He's father.
If they wanted to stop this, they would sue the clinic, and this clinic would change its rules. The fact that they're going after him personally tells you this is not about that.
There's so many children that it's now a non-zero risk that those kids grow up and then they end up, you know, reproducing with.
This is nonsense. Again, I'm going to have to point out to you guys. Where is it? Netherlands. Netherlands itself, 17.5 million people. What's 500 people to that? Let me think about this for a second. Get my calculator out. Right. If he wanted to make 1% of the population to actually make this a risk, he would have to father 175,000 people, children. That's to make 1%. So this means nothing. This means nothing. Okay, back to this guy.
Each other, not knowing that they're related. Do you think this is a kink of his? No, I think he's just some kind of like B tier supervillain from a comic book.
Yeah,
Like he
this is why I brought up Penguin Zero. The nonsense, the misandrist nonsense that comes out of these guys' mouths. I think, like I showed, Netherlands gives you like 10 or 20 bucks. So he probably just says it's extra money. He gives a sperm. It's meaningless to him because he's just jacking off. And what they do with it is up to them. Right?
he hatched this nefarious plot, and it's a long-term con where it's like, I'm going to fill the Netherlands with, you know, hundreds of my children, and they'll
Oh, by
never.
the way, this guy is doing what most women do. They project their desires onto this guy. Women are the ones who make effort to get pregnant from a guy and then turning him into a slave through child support. And then because they're doing something scummy, they think they project that onto men and think that's what men would do what I do. That's what they think. And it's untrue.
Know. And then the inbreeding will commence and lead to generations of brain decline. I'll destroy the Netherlands from the inside out. That kind of thing. Holy shit. An Australian couple paid over 6,500 to a Danish fertility clinic for his sperm.
There you go, genius. You misandric genius. Now you see why he was donating his sperm. Why, well, not so much why he was donating it, why they were accepting it. It's up to the clinic to keep the rules in check. They're the ones who said you can't father any more than 25 children. So when they give 500 children out, that's because they are making the money. So you realize, or should realize, why the motivation, why they're breaking their own rules. And this man is not responsible for the clinic breaking their own rules.
What? We chose him because he was worldly, creative, and very intelligent. He was open to.
Yeah, this woman wanted a special child, and she realizes her child was going to be special because he had all kinds of children. So it was an insult to her. So she's attacking him personally. This has nothing to do with some kind of principle. This woman is not acting out of a principle. She's acting out of solipsistic thinking.
Meeting his donor children, and he looks like my partner. It sounds like she was just attracted to him. He could have just given
Thanks,
it
dude. I'm glad you admitted that.
to you au natural. You didn't even have. You probably wouldn't have even had to pay 6,500. He won't be stopped. I think it's disgusting. I'm incredibly angry and disappointed. I can't believe I have to tell my child that he has hundreds of siblings.
You don't have to tell the children anything. Matter of fact, these women don't tell their children anything. When these women, all you guys listening, when these housewives, for example, step out on their husbands and bang other guys and have other people's children, they don't tell their children anything, do they?
Yeah, it is kind of fucking wild. So right now it's a civil lawsuit against him because he knowingly continued to donate sperm like an absolute madman, just tossing these things out like free samples at a mall food court. And he did it at 11 clinics in the Netherlands, which has led to over 100 children in the Netherlands alone. And he continues to donate it internationally as well to spread his seed even further across.
Okay, so when they say 550 children, we're not talking about Netherlands, are they? The Netherlands, it's only 100. So the idea of possible incest is zero.
Across the planet. He himself is saying the reason he keeps donating so much sperm here, like gallons upon gallons of it, is because he just wants to make sure everyone can have the joy of having a child, and he's doing his part to give them the tools necessary for it, I suppose.
I believe them. It's no different than giving blood, is it? I used to give blood. You go in, you give a pint. Because I'm getting older, I decided my blood's probably getting weak, so I didn't bother. But you give a pint of blood and say it's helping someone. He's doing the same thing with his sperm. Why not? He's not gaining that $6,500 they gave the clinic. He's not seeing it. Okay?
Suppose. I don't think he realizes just how big of an issue it is to father more than 500 kids like that.
It's not an issue. It's not an issue. Look, you mentioned Genghis Khan. Everyone was fine with Genghis Khan producing all those children. The top tier guys get to produce. What can I say?
I mean, it's not, again, it's not like a small thing, right? You would hate.
It's not just small, it's insignificant. It's absolutely insignificant. Look, everybody, you all know like these tiny little towns, right? Where all the kids grow up and leave, and everyone there starts marrying their cousins. Does anyone try to make a law against a small dead end town not reproducing with one another, right? They don't give a shit about incest in those cases, do they?
For those kids to end up meeting each other, not knowing that they're related, and then leading to fucking inbreeding, right? That's terrible. That's awful. I'm hoping they do win the lawsuit against this guy, and I'm hoping the.
Well, I hope they don't. I hope he gets out of this. Matter of fact, he shouldn't be wasting his time being forced to go to court over this. This is a misandric lawsuit. It's an attack on him as a man. He's done nothing wrong. Again, he hasn't broken any rules. All he's done is donate. It's up to the clinic, again, whether they pass his sperm on to somebody else. And it's also up to the clinic whether these women, or actually it's up to the women, whether they choose the same guy all the time. Right? This man isn't to blame for anything.
Sperm banks are going to do their due diligence to ensure they don't keep using his samples.
Okay, thank you for admitting that. So he shouldn't be sued then, if it's up to the clinic, like which it is. And as you can say, guys, this is jealousy. This is jealousy from Penguin Zero. This guy has all these children because guess what? The women look at his profile, they want him. They want his sperm. And of course, this man, probably almost no one wants his sperm. Right? So he's a typical jealous guy. Personally, I hope this guy just keeps cranking them out. I hope he gets paid for it this time. We'll have to hear.